Imagine a world where every choice matters, not because it changes the future, but because it reveals who you truly are. In Homer's Iliad, fate looms over every hero, dictating the course of their lives while leaving them the freedom to decide how they will face it. For Nietzsche, life is an endless loop where every moment, action, and decision repeats infinitely. This makes each choice eternally significant, not because it is predestined, but because it will return and echo forever. So while both Homer and Nietzsche focus on how individual responds to life's challenges, Homer sees those challenges as dictated by fate, whereas Nietzsche presents them as self-imposed, bound by the eternal return of all things. Both invite us to confront profound questions. How do we live when we can't change the ultimate outcome? And how do we find meaning in a world where control is limited? The Greek understanding is that fate isn't something to be avoided or controlled, but something to be faced with the right attitude. For Homer's heroes, it's about courage and legacy. For Nietzsche, it's about embracing life's totality, the triumphs and the tragedies, as something worthy of eternal repetition. By exploring these two powerful visions of fate, we'll uncover their insights into freedom, meaning, and the essence of human experience. In the Iliad, fate is both inescapable and indifferent. While the gods may intervene in human affairs, they too are bound by fate. They rather fulfill than alter the course of events. However, their influence over it is complicated. There is some evidence in the Iliad that Zeus, the king of the gods, has the power to change fate. In Book 16, for instance, Zeus feels pity for his son Sarpedon and contemplates saving him from death at the hands of Patroclus. Despite his desire to intervene, Hera reminds him that Sarpedon is already long since doomed by fate. Although Zeus has the power to alter the course of events, he ultimately refrains from doing so. It reflects the limits of divine power in the face of fate. Achilles' story encapsulates this tension. As the greatest warrior of Greece, his fate is sealed. He will die young on the fields of Troy. Early in the poem, his mother Thetis reveals his limited choices. He can either live a long, peaceful life without glory, or die young and achieve eternal fame. Achilles chooses the latter. This choice defines him, but it is not made lightly. It's a powerful moment that shows the burden of choice within the unchangeable fate. Achilles' decision highlights a core tension in Homer's worldview. Fate may dictate the outcome, but individuals are defined by their response. For the Greeks, the question isn't whether you can escape destiny, but whether you can meet it with courage and honor. Achilles' choice to pursue glory despite its cost reflects this ideal. In the Iliad, his fate is both imposed upon him and embraced, reflecting a fundamental duality. Hector, the Trojan hero, also knows he is doomed. Yet he fights to protect his city and family, living with dignity, even in the shadow of inevitable defeat. For Hector, same as for Achilles, fate is not merely endured, but actively engaged with. The tragedy of the Iliad lies not in the heroes' deaths, but in the choices they make to face death with dignity and determination. These decisions show that while external forces control the outcome, the heroes shape the meaning of their lives through their actions. Nietzsche presents a different yet equally profound vision of fate. He challenges us to imagine a life where every moment, every triumph, failure, love and loss repeats eternally. The challenge is not merely to endure this repetition, but to affirm it, to embrace every moment as essential to the life we're living. In The Gay Science, Nietzsche presents this thought with stark clarity. What if some day or night a demon were to steal after you into your loneliest loneliness and say to you, "This life, as you now live it and have lived it, you will have to live once more and innumerable times more, and there will be nothing new in it. But every pain and every joy, and every thought and sigh, and everything unutterably small or great in your life will have to return to you, all in the same succession and sequence, even the spider, and this moonlight between the trees, and even this moment, and I myself. The eternal hourglass of existence is turned upside down again and again, and you with it, speck of dust. This is the eternal recurrence, the challenge to affirm our life not just in hindsight, but in a way that we would be willing to relive it forever. This idea is central to Nietzsche's philosophy. It's not simply about surviving life's repetitions, but about actively embracing them. His concept of amor fati, love of fate, demands that we accept and love life's totality, including its hardships. He writes in his later work, Ecce Homo, "My formula for greatness in men is amor fati." The fact that a man wishes nothing to be different, either in front of him or behind him or for all eternity. This is not a passive acceptance, but an active engagement with life in all its complexities, joys, and sufferings. While Homer's heroes wrestle with external forces, gods and fate imposed from the outside, Nietzsche shifts the focus inward. Can we love life not despite its hardships, but because of them? The real question is not how we endure fate, but how we transform it into something that we would choose to experience eternally. In this sense, Nietzsche's philosophy isn't about resignation, it's about empowerment. To affirm eternal recurrence is to transcend despair and to find true freedom. By saying yes to life with all its contradictions and shaping our own destiny, liberated from external forces and traditional moral constraints. At first glance, Homer and Nietzsche might seem worlds apart. Homer's fate is external, dictated by cosmic forces, while Nietzsche's eternal recurrence is internal, a matter of perspective. Yet both challenge us to confront life's limits and question how we choose to face them. Achilles offers a striking parallel. He doesn't embrace fate with Nietzschean joy, but he confronts it head-on, choosing honor and glory despite the cost. This active engagement with fate, this refusal to passively submit, resonates with Nietzsche's vision. However, Nietzsche takes it further. Not only does he advocate for facing fate, but he urges us to actively love it. In this way, Nietzsche deepens the engagement with fate seen in the Iliad. Nietzsche himself, after all, was deeply inspired by Homer when shaping his ethical views. He saw in the Homeric heroes a strength and vitality that resonated with his own ideas of embracing life in all its dimensions. While Nietzsche's interpretation of fate diverges from Homer, the influence of Homeric thought on Nietzsche's philosophy is undeniable, especially in the way both figures emphasize the importance of individual agency in the face of an uncontrollable world. As we reflect on both Homer and Nietzsche, the real question becomes personal. How do we apply all that to our own lives? If we are bound by forces beyond our control, how do we respond? Homer's heroes teach us that while fate cannot be escaped, how we face it defines us. Nietzsche, however, challenges us to go beyond mere acceptance. He asks us to love our fate, to embrace every moment, even the painful ones, as worthy of eternal repetition. So how might you approach your own life in light of these ideas? Could you find the meaning in the inevitable not by resisting it, but by choosing to affirm it fully, as if you would live it over and over again? And as you consider Nietzsche's bold call to embrace your fate, take a moment to consider Homer's vision as well. How do you stand in the face of fate, knowing that while you cannot control the forces around you, your response, your courage and honor in accepting what is is where your true strength lies. This isn't just a philosophical exercise, it's a call to live deeply with purpose, regardless of the external forces at play. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, like it and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.